All right. Welcome, Ged. Merry Christmas. Happy
Merry Christmas.
holidays. Whatever
Thank
you celebrate.
Yeah. However you get down well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was Santa good to you? What's going on? Were there lots of gifts under the tree, or is it all kids all the time at this point?
It's a lot of times it's kids. That's the main focus. And I think a lot of dudes in general, once you get to a certain age, always just say, I don't want anything. I don't need anything. Like if I need something, I tend to just buy it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, you and I literally just had that conversation. I'm
Yeah.
trying a new mic out, as you and I were talking about before we went live, and I had a mic that worked well before, but my wife was, on me like, "What do you want for Christmas?" I'm like, I don't know. We're in the same boat. Like, if I want something, I'll get it.
I know.
Like, I'd love to try one of these new Blue Yeti mics. So anyone who happens to watch this, feel free to let me know if it sounds lovely or not.
Yeah, I tend to ask for things that I currently have that I keep pushing through that are falling apart. So like these are new headphones. My old ones, like all the foam had fallen off them, like they were just rough.
Well, I was hoping you gave them back to the 12-year-old gaming boy you stole the originals from.
They're free.
Nice to see.
They're free from like my mother-in-law's came with her like iPad or something like that. So
what are you rocking now? Are those Marleys?
They're
or they're Beats?
Yeah, they're these ones.
Wow.
Skyline edition.
You are fancy. And you like them, eh?
First time using them.
I have a pair of Beats upstairs. The next time we should join the matching earmuffs.
Yeah. Okay, so the real reason we're here, Chapter 1, the Book of Boba, released 3 p.m. our time, 3 a.m. our time, but I watched at 7. You probably just recently watched it because you're not up as early. Yeah,
7:30. Nice. I got up nice and early, started at 7:30.
So how good, first off, before we get into any criticizing or praising, how good is it just to have live action Star Wars back?
I was so excited about this morning that last night I watched The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah. As I get older, I tend to get less excited for things, but last night when I'm subconsciously excited for something, I'll like wake up before an alarm or something like that. Like my body's on it. Like I was up ready to go, even though I was excited, but I wasn't like, oh man, I gotta wake up. But my body was like, no, you're getting up. You're ready for this.
Yeah, for sure. I was pleasantly surprised when I jumped out of bed at just after 7, grabbed coffee and started at it.
All right. So first off, let's just talk. I think this is the best thing in the entire episode. So I thought let's just like look at it.
Okay. Would you just look at it?
Would you just look at that?
Would you just look at it?
Let me play it a little bit for you.
Let's do it.
By the way, I guess I should say spoilers if you haven't seen it. Now, okay, I love the scene for one. I love the way the insides of the Sarlacc, right? Like it very much looks like this is how you get digested over thousands of years or whatever.
Yep.
Here's I don't want to I got to give some critiques, right? And the Stormtrooper, although looking cool, all like half dissolved, lore-wise makes sense because that Stormtrooper could have fallen in this Sarlacc pit any point of time, right? If it's taken that long to digest.
Yep.
My only critique is when Boba fell in, he fell in at the same time as like a lot of Jabba's henchmen, and Stormtroopers weren't on that sail barge. So it seems, I think I would have rather someone not in armor. Like Boba's obviously protected because he has Beskar on. Like one of those like weak-way guards, like, and it's like half skull showing or something. You know what I mean? Like actually digested.
That's a really good point. I totally forgot that there was no Stormtroopers.
Yeah, that was the only thing. Again, the acid-eaten Stormtrooper, again, its armor is broken down a lot faster, but it's not Beskar. So I like it. I guess they wanted to use it because Boba needed to get more, like you'll see here, like more air, right?
Yep.
I guess that's what they did with it. Again, aesthetically looks cool.
Yep. Yeah, and the grasping for air makes perfect sense.
Yeah. All right, there we have it. So did you think he was essentially going to burn himself out?
Yeah, I mean, I am curious that there was no reaction from the belly of the beast that he was in as he burned his way out of it.
Yeah.
It seemed not that it was easy to get out of, but after getting air, it seems like he basically flamethrowed and dug his way out. You would think that an active being that is always hungry and digesting people,
Yeah.
you would think there might be a little bit of kickback.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was one of those things where I think they wanted to show something, but they didn't want to spend half an episode of him climbing out of a beast, right? So we get a
And that's
little
fair.
bit of
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, it checked off the biggest box for me, which is what happened from the time he fell, which is probably not even arguably, I'm assuming even you and I would agree on this, the most underwhelming death in the Star Wars universe for someone that was supposed to be so wicked. I love how it recanted what happened afterwards.
Yeah. So, and again, and like this was in a lot of fans' imagination, right? Like this was how Boba got out. So again, like this is playing on, what fans have always theorized and thought about, and even like what happened in the expanded universe a bit, right? Like Boba ended up surviving. So, cool to see it on the screen go down. Looked cool and everything. Love it. So we get an interesting plot device in this episode. When he's in the back to tank healing, he then gets the flashbacks. So I don't know. You think we're going to see this throughout the season, flashing back to other periods of time while he's healing? Like, is that going to be the vehicle, or you think that's just for this episode?
No, I think you'll see it. I think you'll see it pretty continuously because there's obviously a change in the perception of him from the beginning of the episode to the last. I know we don't really care about spoilers, but I don't want to necessarily paint an entire picture. Yeah. I mean, when he defeats that creature and brings the sand adolescent back, I mean, there is a changing of the guard. And I mean, if you think about what he's trying to accomplish in Jabba's throne, doesn't really seem as it was part of his character during the movies that we kind of grew up with. So I'm going to guess that you're going to see a lot of flashback of this time with the Sand People, and it's going to change not only your perception or his perception of himself and what he wants to do with his life, but also could change fans' perception of Sand People. I mean, we think Sand People, we think Anakin murders them all, the women and the children. I slaughtered them like animals. Like that's what I think of when I think about like these Sand People, these Tusken Raiders.
Yeah.
And you could see a bit of a change here.
This one went a little bit farther, right? You could tell there was obviously, I don't know if it's husband or wife, but you could see the two leaders dressed differently. They even had like those darker cloaks on. And then obviously a lot of kids beating the crap out of Boba when he's tied up.
Yeah.
You could tell they were like legit little sand babies.
Yeah. Little sand degenerates.
Yeah. And like so the Mandalorian is, I believe, 5 years post Return of the Jedi. So I don't know, like this Sand People storyline, this must be like a month, right? A couple months after Return of the Jedi. So there's a whole whack of backstory they still got to fill out, right?
Well, I mean, I mean, it really begs the question, how long was he unconscious for?
Yeah.
Because this seems like it's happening within 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he gets up, he falls, he passes out.
The fact he was out of, I'm assuming that's air, right? The fact he was out of air, so maybe he was unconscious a day, half a day, blew through his supply, so had to get it right away.
Yeah. And then I love how it shows the Jabberwock. He's taken his armor, which we then find out gets passed along and shows back up in the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this seems like it's like the 72 hours from hell for poor Boba Fett.
Yeah. And we see, so in Mando, he has the big gaffy stick. So obviously we already see how that's going to play out. He's respected by the tribe, right, for taking out that sand monster.
Yep.
So he's obviously going to maybe, I don't know, live with them, work with them a little bit. Again, I don't know what the motivation is there because, earlier when he's talking to the Rhodian, he's like, I could get us to Mos Eisley to the spaceport and get us off this planet. You know, it's like he was like in a hurry to like get gone. So it'll be interesting.
I said, I think it's going to change our perception, because let's be honest, what we knew as Boba Fett and then what you see as him trying to accomplish in Mos Eisley are two very different personas. Like, he's going from a ruthless bounty hunter to somebody who wants to rule a community. My guess is this time with the Sand People is going to show you why.
Yeah. Okay, so present time Boba, he's on the throne, and you kind of spoke this a little bit. He doesn't. It's kind of like why is he sitting on that throne to begin with? Because it doesn't really seem like, to me anyways, it didn't really feel like he was all that motivated to be there. You know what I mean? Like, it was.
Yeah, and I don't think we have the answers to that yet.
Yeah.
I think that's what I think you're going to see leading through the season. Like,
it's obviously he wants to make a lot of money. Like, he's just enjoying getting the, you know, the credits, the coins, whatever kind of values he's getting. And he's moving quickly to reestablish, you know, they reference Jabba's network a lot, but like, again, this is 5 years past Jabba. It's really Bib Fortuna's crime network he's putting back together.
Yeah, it's fair.
Did you like the fight scene we got? The one that was heavily in the trailers. He kind of got a beat down.
Yeah. I like the fight scene. I like seeing, and I always forget their names, I'm sorry, the green gobbledygook guys, who he spares their life. And then
the Gamorreans,
the Gamorreans literally come and make good on that loyalty. Because Fennec Shen is like, this is a bad idea, but he went with his gut and it probably saved their life.
Was it surprising to see him get his rear end kicked so badly when, flashback to the Mandalorian, he wiped out, X amount of stormtroopers, like no big deal?
No, because he's still healing.
Yeah.
Well, he still needs to go into that healing chamber. He's not at 100%. I think it's going to come out in the next 2-3 episodes. How much being in the belly of what's that thing called again?
Sarlacc.
Yeah, I think being in the belly of that Sarlacc, even for the amount of time he was there, I think it's going to come out as to what that took out of him. I think he's running at 60%.
So here's my big question for the series in general, and for you to maybe ponder here. We see him again, Mando. This storyline's 5 years post Sarlacc belly, right? Has he not used a bacta tank at all for healing for that 5 year?
Wait, no. But the series in general is 5 year, but that doesn't mean that these periods are showing in the first episode are.
Since he has his armor, so it's 5 years.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, that's fair.
So what I was thinking when I'm watching it, I'm like, is he healing because he wants the scars gone? Because in the flashbacks versus present, the scarring is significantly different, I believe. Right?
Oh, that's fair.
Let me.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Let me find a shot of the scarring here. Sorry, I'm jumping around. Where is he when he gets? Yeah, like look at him right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that face.
To the Hut. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like Deadpool.
Yeah.
And then look at him here.
Yeah.
So I don't think he. So that's fair. So he wasn't using a bacta tank, or he didn't have access for it till he got to Jabba's throne. Maybe it's like a rich person thing, right? Like now he's got the money to do it. And he's healing up some scarring, which again, this brings me back to, Darth Vader. We see Anakin, we see him using the bacta tank, but like by the time Return of the Jedi, he's still all sorts of messed up looking. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think that you'll point that out as an inconsistency as we go through, because that's a really good call when it comes to Anakin. Yeah. Or is that explained in?
Yeah, it's all make believe. So hey, he's making himself look a little better because why? Because he doesn't want to sit in that chair and put on that makeup every damn episode. So this is how they're going to get him looking fine again.
Smart play.
Yeah,
smart play.
It's just little things sometimes, like pique my interest or trigger my mind. Like, why are they doing like that?
Yeah, it's fair. But no, all in all, yeah. Then I guess it was a little strange to see him get it handed to him. But I think the main point of that was to show the Gamorreans coming in and making good.
Yeah, exactly. And then, like, I don't know, like, was he wounded or something? Is that why he's like, get him to the bank tank right away?
Yeah.
So, who knows? So a lot of some little Easter eggs in there. Did you see my man Max Rebo jamming on the keys?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So it's good to see he's all alive and well. And then I just when he called the little baby sand person a youngling, I thought was a nice little touch.
Yeah, good little tribute.
Yeah. Okay. And then I guess the last big point was the sand monster. When he was unburying that hand, I don't know why I thought it's going to be like probably a little baby crate dragon or something like that. And what we got, I think, is a completely new monster. I don't know if this.
I've never seen it before.
I don't think this sand monster
stuff I've watched.
You know, if anyone knows in the chat or the comments, let me know if that creature exists. But I wasn't aware of Tatooine having another crazy dangerous monster there.
Yeah.
I think it might have been just made for the show, but I could be wrong. Did you like the battle with that guy?
I did.
Yeah,
I did, and I think it's a cool early turning point. I mean, Boba Fett could have tucked tail and ran.
Yeah,
but there is a side of humanity that you would not have noticed in him in the entire time that I've known him anyway, where he saves the youngling, because he could have just tucked tail and taken off. Yeah,
because then he's good to go. I'm going to go get to Mos Eisley, get myself shipping out of here.
And get off. But instead, he goes back, he stays, and puts himself at risk, even though he's dehydrated.
Yeah.
Really hasn't been nourished in days, and he saves this adolescent sand youngling.
Yeah. And then I guess this is going to be, I've seen some people talk about this online, and it's probably going to be a narrative about them really turning Boba Fett really into a good guy. You can say anti-hero, you could say whatever you want, but if he ends, like, again, to this point, he saves the young person instead of just being like, I see my opportunity and get out of here, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if fans are going to have an issue with him. Yes, he's a bounty hunter and he's cold-hearted, kill whoever he wants, right? But at the end of the day, it's whoever pays him the money, right? He's not necessarily on a side.
No.
But in this case, like you said, you see a little bit of the humanity in him where he saves the young kid rather than getting out of Dodge.
Yep. Yeah, and I think that's going to be part of that transformation that takes him to that throne, takes him to the point where he wants to stay in one place, takes him to a spot where he wants to guard a community. And I think that's more than anything what I'm looking forward to in the next 3 to 4 episodes.
Yeah. He talks about
where's that paradigm shift,
right?
Yeah,
he talks about respect,
where's that paradigm shift?
Who knows, maybe down the road when he really needs something, I'll just call up my buddy the Tusken Raiders, right?
You got it.
They respect him for the creature he killed, right? So,
yep.
All right, you got any other thoughts that we did not touch on?
No, I'm actually really looking forward to hearing your score on this whole thing.
All right, so let's score this thing good. I'm just happy Star Wars again is back. Don't know if I'm happy about it being on Wednesdays, but I'm happy nonetheless. I thought
hopefully none of my colleagues watch this.
Yeah.
Or Wednesday mornings, they're gonna have a couple questions for me.
I'm on vacation, yeah. So, look at this.
Oh, Jesus. Yep.
That's funny. So I thought the intro, the flashbacks, and all that stuff was great. I thought the present day stuff was, again, it wasn't as exciting yet, right? It was more setup. So I'm going 8.1 on my review score for Chapter 1 of Boba.
I'm going to give the exact same score, and not because it wasn't exciting. Like when I touch 8, it's because it's exactly what I was looking for.
Yeah.
They didn't try and do too much. They gave a great backstory. I mean, you said it yourself. I mean, fan lore, people have been wondering, what the hell happened since 1984 was Return of the Jedi. Like they, in my opinion, they could have taken 38 minutes this morning and just shown how he got out and survived the first 24 hours. And
exactly.
I love it because they didn't do anything much past that.
And
they
that's why,
took 3 days.
And that's why I love the episode. It was more or less, let's just start day one. Last time you saw Boba in Return of the Jedi, start from there. And the other thing too is the way it's setting up. I am pretty stoked because I think, it's obviously it's hefty praise when the director comes in and says, it's going to blow people's minds. Like it's so good, blah, blah. You get your expectations a little too high. And then, when you come up a little short, but I think it's definitely, I could just tell the tone, the way it's setting up. I think we're in for quite the treat down the road.
I agree. 2-8-1s, solid score, great start.
Yep.
I'm super, super intrigued. I left this episode really intrigued to see what happens next. Not necessarily in a battle scene or a fight scene, but I'm intrigued to see the evolution of Boba Fett.
Yeah, because obviously it sounds like the mayor's going to be a bit of a antagonist, right? Like it sounds like the mayor thinks he rules versus Boba. So we're going to see some drama there. And again, like I think most people, well, myself included, like I'm banging the table for when Cad Bane rolls up onto the screen. So, I'm hoping that's going to be the first 9 I drop on this show.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
All
right, buddy. So that's going to wrap up our review. And next Wednesday, we will be doing this again. Any final words, Ged?
No final words. Happy to be here. Looking forward to Wednesday mornings. And that's it, man. Just be safe.
All right. Thanks, buddy. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you all next week.
Cheers.